Yep. It's getting cool in the house and the humidity's down. It's time to get the humidifier out. You notice I'm not saying anything about turning on the heat. Hey everybody, welcome to Margaret being Margaret. It's a cool day. Did you see the temperature in the house? 57. I still can handle it. And I always get so much feedback on that, but it's really not that bad. I got one of my new shirts, and I know somebody said how they didn't fit well. I didn't even think about how they would fit because I wear them like big baggy sacks. That's how I wear everything. It just is more comfortable for me. You know, I was really surprised at how much feedback the last video got of decorating for Christmas because I put minimalist decorating. So many people reacted to that positively. I'm not complaining about how wonderful it feels to not have the clutter. And I think that's a new thing where, or maybe it is an age thing, I don't know. But when I was younger, my house always threw up Christmas. It was everywhere. There couldn't be enough to make me happy. And now, if I do that, I am thoroughly overwhelmed. Thoroughly overwhelmed. My favorite cabinet in the world. So just doing that tiny bit is not so claustrophobic. And everybody's saying the same thing. You know, minimizing things, I think we have all finally, don't generalize, Margaret, many of us have finally realized less is more. Many of us, and maybe even here, I'll just speak for me. You know, our parents wanted us to have an easier life than they had because their lives were incredibly hard. I passed that same thing on, I'm afraid, and wanted my kids' lives to be easier and for them to have more. Now, they didn't have nearly as much as their peers, but they still had plenty more than they needed. Luckily, I can only speak for Michael, but I think both of them are smarter than I am and realize stuff is not the answer. In fact, stuff clutters up your life. So I think that becoming a minimalist and not having so much clothes, food, you name it, everything, is actually freeing. At least for me it is. And hopefully we all get back to the basics of having what we need and knowing that what we need and what we want are two different things, because the relaxation of not being overwhelmed by stuff is truly freeing. A lot of us have trouble getting rid of things, and you know that's not my problem. My problem is slowing down and not getting rid of everything. I have a frozen pizza to go in the oven as soon as the oven's preheated. And I am going to get out my humidifier so that my cough doesn't get bad. Oh, talking about cough. My cough is not bad. You know, psychosomatically, I'll start coughing now because I just talked about it. But let me put this up here. It's not bad. And biggest change I have done since I got over October's plague is putting Vicks on. Now, I always put Vicks on in the winter, always so I can breathe. But the little trick of putting on the soles of your feet and wearing socks overnight, I don't do it because I hate wearing socks in bed. But I have done it for a week now, every single night. My coughing is less than a third of what it has been. So for the rest of the winter, I'm going to have a special pair of socks by my bed that are going to walk themselves to the laundry because I'm going to use the same pair of socks, load my feet up with Vicks, and I'm getting a couple of good nights sleep. The other thing, I was all excited about friends coming over, Chelsea and her little one and Kyle, and somebody's under the weather, so that will be rescheduled. You know how I feel about my Bree, my former salon coordinator. Without going into specifics, because it's none of my business and it's not my story to tell, my salon, when it changed hands, I guess went through a lot of changes, but none of my people are there, and nor is Bree. So it's completely different. 37 years of building it. I am heartbroken for all of them, not for me. I've said it was the best thing I've done, and it was, for me, the best thing I've done. If I had held on to it any longer, I wouldn't have been able to sell it at all, and I would have walked away with Zip, which, after 37 years of giving it your life, good, ready for pizza. I wanted to walk away with something if I could. Not a big windfall, but every penny helps, right? All right, parchment paper, frozen pizza, baking, 450, placed directly in bake sheet, 15 sheet, baking sheet, 15 minutes. And I think I've been doing that, and it's been a little too much, so let's go 13 and see what happens. Because it's cold in the house, I've been drinking tea all day. I haven't even got any water in, and it's 13 o'clock. I think it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, I was talking about Bree and going, shoo, right off to the side. Bree and I are going to get together for lunch sometime before next week, and I'll get to see what she's doing now. Hopefully she's happy and thriving, as I hope they all are. When I walked away, I had said to everybody that I would not look back because I can't. Otherwise, I will be emotionally bankrupt. It would hurt too much. And I believed that, and I lived it, and I'm fine. But this time of year, at the salon, we always had a hot chocolate bar for all the guests, and it was so much fun, and Bree and I did it, 90% of it. I miss doing that and decorating for Christmas. The salon was 2,500 square feet, so it was huge. It took, a week or two to get it decorated. We changed the decorations every year, and I had two rooms of decorations, and the break room had shelving all the way around for decorations too. That all stayed behind, as it should, but I won't go by the salon because it hurts too much, but it kills me not to know if they decorated, not to know if they did anything. Isn't that awful? It's like, Mommy, let it go. Let it go. I've had no trouble letting everything else go. My peace of mind is so wonderful, but the holidays at Daniel and Company were so, so special. I miss that so much. I'm humming and doing my Christmas stuff and thinking, this just doesn't feel stressful enough to me. There's no stress. It's a very strange feeling. I miss, of course, my staff, but I knew I was going to walk away, and I was prepared. The guests. We had a database of 9,000 guests, and most of them I know by name. Those people are missed. So it's a very bittersweet first holiday without the salon after 37 years, 37 Christmases. Nothing I can't handle, nothing that's making me overwhelmingly sad. There is a void. It'll take a little getting used to, and I'm going to get to see Bree, so that would be really, really good. I got a text first thing this morning. 2 people, more than that, people constantly when I still had the salon, find me new jobs. I don't know why they think I need new jobs. The one who's always done that to me is my niece Kyle. Oh, Margaret, you can do this. Oh, Margaret, you could do that. Oh, let's do this. And it's like 2 hands, brains full, no more jobs. And she's still doing it, but not as much. I got a text from my friend Debbie this morning. Debbie, I love you. Telling me she thinks I should be a house stager for real estate transactions. And I wrote back, don't give me another job. I don't want to do more jobs. I get it because I have so much fun doing that. But it wouldn't be fun if it was a job. And you know, I used to badger my son Michael because he spent years living summers in Yellowstone National Park. Would go off-grid for weeks, and I didn't know if he was alive or dead, and he used to drive me crazy. But I always said, would you please get a job as a park ranger? That you love it so much. And he always said, if I did it for a job, I wouldn't love it. I never got it until now when people say, oh, do this because you like it. Oh, do that because you like it. I like it because I don't have to do it. I can do it when I want. Isn't that funny? And I realize that I'm putting my sweater on inside out, which is a pretty good realization for me. I realize that many people can do things they're passionate about as a job, and I did, because I was passionate about my job, but then it does become a job, even though I loved it. If I did more of the stuff that I love for other people or for income, or even as donations, which I know you all will say it would be a good thing, I would lose the joy. It's just me, and I know that. Don't tell Michael he was right. And I truly also have found I like not having a lot on my plate. You know, today I got up and thought about what I wanted to do for the day, and not a lot. But I had to go to the post office. I hate that I have to drive to the post office. I had to go to my insurance company. I told you, ran to Hannaford's. Just got a couple of things. I think I spent like $30. I'm not spending money grocery shopping. I'm not doing enough exercising now that fall is here. I'm doing, you know what I do all the time is these things. And I do them with one hand and go like, oh yeah. But I'll do a lot of them during the day and a lot of squats, just so that I can get up and down more easily. Gave up on trying to get up and down with no hands. You know, without touching your feet. I can't do it. Is it necessary? I can still get up and down. That's my thinking at this point. I can still get up and down. I'm not going to stress over it. I ate my chocolate-covered cherries over 24 hours. I made them last that long, and I was very proud. But here's another thing. I wonder if anyone in the world likes this. I love fruitcake. I know it's a big joke for people that fruitcake lasts forever. I love fruitcake. My mother used to do a bunch of them. She, you know, German fruitcakes. But because my mother grew up during World War II and bacteria, and she cooked everything until it was dead and buried. So her fruitcakes were good, but dry as dry can be. And now I find that fruitcakes, when you get them, a good one, are moist. That's nice. I went to Hannaford's and looked in every aisle. I don't know where I'm going to get a fruitcake. They didn't have any, not that I found. And this time of year, I am entitled to fruitcake and a cup of tea. I'm going to end up going online and seeing if I can order some. I don't know what else to do. So do you like fruitcake? Or am I a fruitcake? It's sweet, and I love sweets. A lot of you also talking about sweets said that your taste buds have changed. And I had been reading about that the last 6 months. That is an aging thing where they always say, just checking pockets here, that people, when they get elderly and are in nursing homes, never want the meals. They only want the desserts, and it's always a battle. I can understand that. There's going to be a time in the near future where I'm going to live on sugar and carbs. Actually, that time is probably already here. Also thinking about the Christmas meals. If you go way back to last winter, I made, was it a prime rib? For the first time in my life. And I had spent $50 on this piece of meat and cut it in 3. Well, I only ate the one. There are 2 still in there. I'm hoping they're good. I'm going to get that out and make it for Christmas. It was delicious. And if it's not freezer burned, I might pull off a dynamite meal for Christmas. I do have to get the humidifier going, and I'll do that now. So have a good day or 2. Hope everybody is healthy, happy, getting their holidays ready and enjoying them, not doing it out of obligation. I hope you're slowing down and enjoying it. And if you're like me, which seems like so many people are, you poor things, really, really bringing it down, simplifying, because I am finding it so much more enjoyable to simplify and breathe. So everybody have a great couple of days. I'm done. I'm not done. I spoke too soon. Went in the cabinet, got out the humidifier, went looking to see if, oh, son of a gun. Went looking to see if I had a new filter for it. Yeah, you see it? Knocked the light bulb out of the cabinet. I now have to sweep and vacuum before I eat the pizza that just went off. You can't make this stuff up. Hope I'm done.